welcome everyone to season 2, episode I think 4 of In the Vapor, a show about individuals in our community industry. The goal of the show is to show the world that we come from all different walks of life, and most importantly, Janine, that we're not bots. We're not bots. Are you a
Yes.
bot, Janine? Are you live?
No, not.
Just make sure. There. No, we're not.
No, I'm
People
not a
of
bot.
Yes, people of okay, formerly known as Twitter X.
Yes.
A quick question: when you heard that term being described to us for the first time, what did you think?
I thought it was kind of desperation, really.
Yeah, yeah, I
That was
did
my
too.
first thought.
Yeah, that was my first thought. It's like, okay, somebody learned. This is what I said. I was like, okay, somebody learned a new word. Someone in the. Oh, look, the kids are saying they're saying bots. Let's use that
Yeah,
terminology to describe these
exactly.
people.
And it's become a word that's just thrown around there when somebody doesn't agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, us older folks, we have to adapt. So we see these new words and we have to, first of all, we have to go to Urban Dictionary first and look up
Yeah,
the word and make sure we're using it in the right, we're in the right. That's
it's
that.
true.
Yeah, hold on. What is that one? You want to make sure you look cool when you say it for the first time and run
Exactly.
that and run it in front of Gen Z or the millennials. So you have to make
And
sure.
I just gave my age away by going
Yeah, yeah. No, hold
instead
on,
of
hold on. Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. And you're Gen X, right? Or are you right in there?
I'm kind of, well, I was born in 1958, so
58.
I'm just kind of,
You're right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right there. I think they are that younger generation, millennials and Gen Z. I think they're really shocked at how quickly we picked up on technology. It's surprising me that like my grandkids were like, "You know how to do that?" I'm like, well, come on, man. It's,
yeah. We do have brains still. They may
Mine,
not work as
mine.
well.
If you
Yeah.
if you ask Tim and Philip, they say mine kind of shuts off every now and then. But
Oh, mine
it's
does too,
yeah,
often.
yeah. Janine's gonna share some of her hobbies, her pet peeves, and her likes and dislikes with us, and we're just gonna get to know Janine. Outside of vaping, because a lot of times that's all we know of each other. It's just like we see each other on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and all we see is advocacy, 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 which is good, but yet we don't get to know the person behind the post on X or Twitter or oh god, that's gonna drive me nuts. I'm still working on that one, Janine.
So
X
much.
for so I am going to ask Janine a few questions, guys. Everyone that's seen the show knows how it works, and the first one's a really important one, Janine. It goes on the
Oh,
tally. It goes on the tally.
oh,
Okay, Janine. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no? Oh no! Oh, well,
sorry.
oh my heart!
I
Oh
know. I'm sorry. Should I leave?
no, 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 no! You are among some great people that have decided that pineapple belongs on there. So you go on that list. We still
Yeah.
love you. We still love you,
Yeah.
but
Okay, thank you.
well,
Yes, I do.
you come from the home of where it was created. So I'm going to assume that a majority of Canadians do love pineapple on pizza. So
It's Canadian back bacon and pineapple.
Canadian back bake. Yes, I think that's important to yeah,
Yeah.
because here they well, I think they kind
Distinguish.
of yeah, you kind of get both worlds. You're either going to get
Mhm.
American bacon on it and pineapple, or you're going to get actual Canadian bacon on there.
Right.
So
Right.
we'll let
Which
that
is
one slide. We'll let that one slide. Hello, Michael. Michael Renford's out there. Peggy at eSource. Peggy, you're next.
Michael.
I'm sending
Peggy.
you a link, Peggy. You are next to be on this show, so we want to know a little bit more about you, Peggy. Janine, your favorite movie quote?
Oh. Um. I know. It's from Shawshank Redemption. When the old fellow was finally let out of, well, he was pushed out of prison.
Pushed out,
James
yeah.
James Whitmore, and he said, "The world's gone and gotten itself in a great big hurry."
Yeah, have you used that? I mean, that's what I love is finding those lines in movies and then somehow, some way adapting them to your everyday life, and then you're just like, yes, I can use it today.
Absolutely, absolutely. I used to live downtown. My partner and I live downtown in the West End. It's an area just by the beach, and it's super crowded and very dense.
Yeah,
And we moved well over 25 years ago to North Vancouver, which is much quieter. Well, it used
yeah,
to be.
yeah.
And whenever we go back over there now, I just, God, it's so busy over here. I can't
Yeah, yeah.
take it.
The
And that's what I
noise.
think. Yeah, the
No, yeah,
cars, the noise, the people, I'm not used to it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like I live in the sticks or anything, but it's just I'm not used to it. So that's I always think of that quote.
You get on a soapbox and you yell that quote, right?
The world's gonna
Oh,
go. That's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I am still trying to figure out how to adapt. Leave the gun, take the cannolis from The Godfather. So I'm still working on that one. Hopefully, I never have to use that one, but I'm working on it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. Leave the gun, take the cannolis. I'll
Take
work
the
that in.
cannoli.
Yeah, I'll work that
You'll
one in
figure it
somewhere.
out.
Oh man. Your dedication to the vaping community is well known, Janine. Everybody knows Janine. But what are some other interests or communities, clubs, or organizations that you are involved in outside of vaping?
Um, I can't say that I belong to any clubs because I'm not really a club kind of a
Yeah, yeah,
gal.
yeah,
But I did used to do volunteer work for the BC SPCA,
yeah.
which was
Nice.
a few blocks away. I was a kitty cuddler on the weekends.
Oh,
So
I'm,
I would go in every Saturday and hang out with the cats in the cat room and just sit with them and get to know them. And I got to know them so well that people would come in to look, to shop.
yeah,
And I would be able to sort of tell them the personalities of different. I love animals, so
yeah.
it was perfect.
Nice.
But I had to leave because I came home in tears every Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's the tough part. I can imagine
It's
that's the tough
hard.
part.
It's
Uh,
really hard.
Oh, look at that. I'm being said hello, and my cousin, all the way from Sicily, is watching the show. Wave to Vincenzo Calente.
Wow. Wow.
He jumps in from time to time. He's
That's very cool.
economics teacher in Sicily, so he jumps
Oh,
in every now and
wow.
then. Yeah.
Very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
that
Well,
that's tough. I could not. I love animals, and I would be tough. And we talked a little bit about with Michelle doing that in the UK, and telling her how it works here. That we have this in this surprise donor that shows up every couple months and pays all the fees that for every single animal in there, and then they open it up on their website, and everyone, because it's expensive, to actually get a dog now, a stray, it's pretty close to 250 $300 here. So
absolutely. Yep.
so it's very, very cool that someone does that. And yeah, I don't know if I could work in there and just see those animals coming in every day.
It's really, I think you know what I realized, John, was that after about doing it for about 6 months, um,
Yeah,
the cats would be adopted,
yeah,
but there was always a never-ending supply, and
yeah.
it will never stop.
Yeah, yes. Everybody out there,
Never.
look in the camera. Get your pet spayed and I sound like what's his name?
Please, I feel like Bob Barker.
Bob Barker. Oh, get your animals spayed and
Get
neutered.
your pets spayed and neutered. Exactly. But it's
Yeah,
yeah, sad.
and that has gotten expensive too. So I think they should do something to make sure that that's a little bit cheaper for someone to afford. And my daughter just went and had her cat. She goes, Dad, my cat's going nuts. I like, well, it's in heat. She's in heat. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, Dad. It's like, go get her fixed. And it was like $150 to get the cat fixed. Yeah. So
It can be prohibitive. It really can, but
yeah.
it's
Well,
necessary.
it's better than a litter.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's you speak of the donors that pop up every so often and do this. There was a fabulous tiny organization in Vancouver, well, an hour away, but they were called Cats for Seniors.
Oh,
And
nice.
they would go to the local shelters and find cats that needed homes, senior cats, because nobody adopts the seniors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they would find senior people that needed them, and they would pay for if need be, because
Yeah,
seniors will
nice.
often, they're
Yeah,
on a fixed income, or
right.
they don't want to adopt. They're afraid to because they might not live very long.
Yeah,
So
that's
the deal was that they would provide the cat that would suit the person. They would pay for the food if need be. They would pay for the vet bills if need be. And if the people got to a point where they could no longer look after them, they would rehome them. So my
nice,
parents did
nice.
that.
Yes, nice,
It
nice.
was
I like
awesome.
that.
And it's
Especially
good
the
company.
seniors.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had the cat with my. I talked a little bit about the cat with my dad. With the dementia. And it's just somehow, some way, it's weird how cats and dogs, they just kind of can sense someone is confused and lost. And it did help him a lot. I wish I could have gotten it earlier in his
Mhm.
dementia, but once his
Mhm.
dementia got to us, it was just too hard to have an animal because he
Oh,
wouldn't.
absolutely.
I'll wake up and see one and then freak out.
Yes, it
uh,
is tough.
yeah, it's tough. We all have that moment where inside our heads we're yelling those lines from the movie Network. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Do you remember when that moment happened in your vaping journey?
God, it's hard to pinpoint one.
Yeah, I know, huh?
I'm trying. It happens a lot.
2012.
It happens a lot. Well,
Uh,
when
uh,
I
uh,
first,
yeah. It's like you want to go,
I,
like that, like it was 2012, a Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I don't remember the very first time, but I remember thinking once years ago when Canada was talking about flavor ban,
Hmm.
I just thought, here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
idiocy of that whole thing. It's still to this day. It's just like you look around. Go. Do these people not go to supermarkets and look on shelves and see flavor everywhere? And it doesn't matter if you're a child or an adult. You want flavor.
it, it, I'm steps from a Dairy Queen here, and
Yeah.
it's not kids only that are lined up in the summertime.
No.
It's
Yeah.
adults.
Yeah. They don't have a
Give me the
line for
chocolate.
adults. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
yeah,
have a line for
exactly.
adults and children. You children get the sweet stuff. You adults get the bitter stuff.
Exactly. Here you go.
Yeah.
There you It's cardboard. It's
Yes. Yeah.
yummy.
Yeah. It's still, there are still people that it comes up every now and then. I'm sure it does with you over there when someone goes, really? Flavors? Have you had that? Like you're trying to explain the situation that's going on and they kind of look at you like dumbfounded, like, flavors? But wait a minute. And
Right.
they're slurping on a frappuccino salted caramel frappuccino. It's flavors.
I have actually said that to people because I do, not so much now because everybody knows not to say that around me because they'll get a big lecture.
Yeah,
Um, uh, or I'll flip out some data or whatever. But yeah, I remember a few of my friends saying, "Well, what do you, that's right,
yeah,
Dave."
yeah. Every
I
day.
remember, there's Dave. I remember my friend saying that. Well, why don't you just use tobacco flavor? Well,
Yeah,
because I hate tobacco. I
yeah.
used it for 2 weeks and
Right.
then
Yeah,
thought, ugh.
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
what's the
Try.
Starbucks drink you're drinking? Did
Yeah,
you put salt
yeah,
on your steak last
yeah.
night? Like,
Thank you. Yeah, that's the one. That's my
and
go-to one, Janine.
and
How
the
do you like
number
it?
one question I always say is, why do you care?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not smoking.
that's
That's all
right.
that matters.
Yeah,
Why do you care?
I'm still alive. I feel better. Look at my skin. I'm breathing better. I can walk around the corner. I can walk to the mailbox and back without huffing and puffing. It's
Exactly.
it,
So yeah,
it's even
it's
like,
crazy.
yeah, even with like my aunt, she's been a nurse for 35 years and she's retired and she'll say the same things. Flavors? She goes, everything. I go, here you go. First thing she said to me, they always complain about the food tasting so terrible at the hospital because there's no flavor.
There you go. There you go. It's so true.
Yeah.
Or I'll say to people, when we go to the bar,
Mm-hmm.
because I do drink, why do you select the cocktail you select?
Right. Right.
What
Exactly.
is it? Like,
Yeah.
would you not just rather have alcohol flavoring?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, because I like my gin and tonic. Or like, well, why?
Right. Yeah. That's
Because
it.
I
I mean,
like the
yeah.
flavor.
Yep,
Anyhow,
flavor. That's why there's a lemon twist in there. That's why there's a cherry in there. That's why they use sweet and sour mash. Yeah, it's because we have taste buds. We've been granted taste buds. Let us use them.
and when you stop smoking, they
It
come
comes
alive
it
again.
comes alive again. I
Mhm.
remembered that like
Well,
when
me
I went
too.
into the vape, started vaping it was about 5 6 months down the road, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm putting too much salt on my food. It's like because I was the old days, I was just like pouring it on there. I was
Did I
like, wait a
always
minute.
do that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's quite
yeah.
something.
My ex-wife would just say, I'm surprised your heart's still working. And I would
My
always
my
look at her and said, how do you know I even have one? And 6 months later, we got divorced. No, I'm kidding.
uh-oh.
No, I'm kidding. Oh,
Yeah, my dad's a bit of a salt freak, but hey, he'll be
yeah.
96 in June, so
Oh, nice, nice. That is awesome.
mhm.
We had a neighbor across the street, 94, 95 years old,
Wow.
still
Yeah.
driving. It takes him a while to get out of the garage and onto the road, but once he gets on the road, he stays at no,
Oh,
he does the speed limit. If it's
wow.
45, he's 45. He's just I'm like, dude,
Wow.
if he has to react, game over.
Well, that's just, my dad still drives too.
Yeah. Oh no. Wow. Yeah.
Well, we don't drive with him.
Yeah. No. No. No.
No, it's okay, Dad, we'll drive.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll drive, or we'll just have like we did when they were teaching us, where they would have one hand on the wheel. That's how I would drive if my dad was 90. Hey, let me just put my hand right here.
No,
Can we
it's
get an
scary.
extra? Yeah. Can we get an extra brake pedal on this side, please?
Like the driving school cars, you need another
Yeah,
steering wheel.
this is your new car, Dad. Why is there two steering wheels and two brake pedals?
It's a senior car.
That
It's a
would be
jury.
perfect. There you go, Elon Musk. Your next car,
Yes,
your senior car.
exactly. It's a geriatric car.
Yeah,
It's
we just gave
perfect.
Elon Musk a $1 billion idea.
Hey, hey, I think that's a fabulous idea.
The
Why not? Or a
Tesla for
Flintstone
senior.
car.
Yeah,
For my dad, it would be a Flintstone car. That would be better.
I can see it now. The Tesla, the new model, the senior model. No
Dude,
steering wheel, no gas pedal, nothing.
you can
You
just
just
sit in it.
punch in your coordinates, Dad. Take me to my daughter.
What's the address? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, you don't
That
have,
would
they
be
don't even have
dad.
to remember the address. Just yell at the
Mm-mm.
screen. They're good at yelling at the screen anyway, you know.
Well, yes, they are. This damn thing. Yeah. My TV's not working again.
Yeah, yeah. The button on the
Oof.
remote, it's on. It's called on. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I did I learned that mistake early with my mom. Hey mom, you could save money. Go from uh Comcast cable to satellite. But I wasn't thinking how complicated it was to
Oh,
relearn the remote and the channels. Everything was there. She's like, "Oh my God, give me my Comcast back." I was like, "All right, mom, relax."
it's really difficult. My dad lives in a independent living community,
Yeah,
so it's all what
yeah,
I like to say cotton tops, but that's what I am
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Um, and they just last year switched over to a whole new Wi-Fi and television provider
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
in a place like that. Are you kidding me?
Ooh, relearn Wi-Fi passwords.
Oh my good Lord. They couldn't even work the TVs. There's 90 some odd people in there that were down at the front desk and my television isn't
Yeah.
working. And it's,
Yeah.
oh God.
That show was always on 13. Why do I have to punch in 6 numbers to get to channel 13 now?
That's dad. Now it's on 198 or some damn
Yeah,
thing. I don't
exactly.
know.
I don't know what it used to be on simple 2 numbers.
Exactly. 2, 6, 8, and 12. That's all
Yeah.
we had growing
You're
up.
telling me I got to remember 4 numbers now?
It's too much.
That's when they throw out that, and then they say, "I can't even remember your own birthday, kid."
That's right. Yeah. And I can't
You were
either, but
either born in February, January, or March. I can't remember. Somewhere in the middle, maybe in the 20s. Not day. You're close, Dad.
not
June.
sure. But I know who you are.
I know who you are.
So
What
that's a
was
good thing.
Yeah. What it was Janine's first job, and did you quit or get fired?
Ooh, um, my first job was during Christmas when I was in high school,
Yeah.
for Christmas break.
Yeah.
I washed hair at a hair salon
Oh my
for
goodness,
two
that's a tough
weeks.
first job. That's a tough first job.
It was really odd.
Yeah.
Actually, it was kind of cool, but you had to learn how to do it properly. Otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah,
the
you got
hose is
water.
all over the place, and yeah, you had to be
Uh,
very careful. It only lasted 2 weeks, so
yeah.
that's how I,
It was
you know,
a salon or yeah, salon,
yeah,
right?
it was
Yeah,
a hair
yeah.
salon.
And
And
so
then
you didn't get guys coming in with greasy hair.
no,
No, just
it was only
yes,
women.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say because
There were no men.
good. Yeah, because I was gonna say us guys, we don't take good much care of our hair. Got all
And
kinds of
some of
stuff.
the
Yeah,
yeah, people
uh,
have different heads shapes too. It's weird.
oh my
You
God.
get
Yeah,
to like some people's skulls are a little softer and some
yeah.
are rock hard, and yeah, it's kind of odd. But
It's
anyway,
funny you
getting
bring
to
that
know
up.
people.
It's funny you bring that up because I talked about that last night. I was like, they should have an app that you can take your picture of your face and so it can show you before you decide to shave your head whether or not you have the right head shape for it.
Yes, because you don't know.
And then it
You're
got
no
into
clue.
yeah, I got into all crying. How about if you got a birthmark there you never knew about that shaped like something really odd? I'm like, oh God.
Exactly. You just
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Surprise.
Oh,
But
look, that looks like a fish or no, I couldn't do it. I
I
couldn't
don't
do it.
know. It's
Yeah.
it's Africa on your
Uh,
head. I have actually only had, believe it or not,
yeah.
2 jobs in my entire life.
Oh, wow, Janine. That is
I
crazy.
know, I know. When I graduated and then I worked for a yeah, me at a law firm,
Yeah.
um, for 5 years, downtown, huge law firm, and then I started with Canada Post, and I was the letter carrier for 33 years.
Oh, wow, that is
So
awesome. That is
retired.
unheard of anymore with this new generation. Their new thing is every 2.5 years to 5 years, they say you should switch jobs just and to
That's right.
better yourself. I get that whole idea of that where the generate you don't have like my dad who worked at the same place like you for 35 to
Hmm.
40 years. Uncle worked at the
Hmm.
same place and that's unheard of anymore. They think that you should each time like keep changing every 2.5 years, and hopefully you better yourself. But to me, it's just I can't restarting over and meeting new people every 2.5 years and trying to get the office. By the time you get the office environment, you're supposed to leave by then.
Yeah, exactly. Nice knowing you.
Nice.
I'm out
I'm
of here
out.
now.
I'm out. It was nice meeting you. Hopefully, we'll see
Yeah.
you someday again.
Yeah.
But
No, I couldn't do that.
no, no,
I
no.
loved my job. I didn't like
Yeah,
the post office per se. It was a horrible place to work, but once you got outside
yeah,
and I
yeah.
I knew all my
Can
customers.
I'm picturing, and you're on the good side of Canada. Sorry, sorry, East Coasters. Sorry, all my family that lives on that side too as well. But so I'm just, you still have snow there, but not,
Mhm.
yeah. But I'm just, no shorts though. You didn't have to wear the little mailman shorts in the ice snow and
No,
now
no, no, no. Some
it,
did.
yeah, is your motto the same as the motto here of the post office? Rain, sleet, or snow? What is it? You have a motto.
No, we don't really. And whoever developed that motto was at a desk.
Yeah, yeah. No,
They never
it's
did the
snow.
job.
If it's snowing, you might get your mail. Maybe.
It's tough. It is. I've worked some pretty brutal winters where
Oh, I bet.
it's really physical. It's
Yeah.
not an easy job. You have to be fit.
No, no, no. I have
So,
two friends that are mail carriers and both retired. One did 20 years in the Army and then
yeah.
25 years as a mail carrier. So two federal pensions and
Mhm.
retired and just kind of kicking back and enjoying life now. Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
me. That's me. I
Yeah.
walked enough. I walked about
Yeah.
14 kilometers a day.
Yeah.
every day for
Yeah.
33 years. So I probably, oh, God knows how many miles that is
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
33 years.
Yeah.
That's a
You,
lot. I
you,
went through a
you,
lot of shoes.
yeah. You're like back in the day. I wish I had that watch that counted all my steps for me.
I, exactly. Oh, what probably would have done weird things to my head and I would have made me feel really tired. So it's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
best that I didn't
Uh,
know.
Well,
But it was,
I'm sure, like even there, you guys like here, the mailbox has to be at the front of the house. It has to be next to the. There's all these regulations where the mailbox. So you're not like walking. Oh, yeah, here's the property, but the mailbox a mile and a half down the road.
right.
Yeah,
You know what? It really depended on the area.
yeah,
I worked in an area called North Vancouver and it's super hilly, like
yeah,
really.
uh,
And yeah, it was pretty easy to find the mailboxes.
yeah,
Some of them were a little difficult,
yeah.
but it was uh it was a
Uh,
great. I loved my
that's a good
customers.
job.
I knew everybody.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing too. I've had the same mail. He retired a couple years ago, but I had the same mailman for like
Mhm.
30 years, and he went. His kids played with my kids. They played baseball at the same place, and
Oh, cool.
it was just like. And when he went left, I was like, oh no, my mail's gonna be all screwed up now. I'm gonna get the neighbor's mail, and I did for a while, but she got it. She got it down. The new lady. The first poster on Janine's wall as a teenager was.
You know what? I have no idea. I wasn't allowed to have posters on my wall.
Yeah, we had to
Mom
hide
was
ours.
really strict. It'll
Yeah,
leave marks.
yeah,
So
yeah. If it was a, if it was a,
if it
this
was.
is our joke. If it was a poster of Jesus, it was okay if it was on the wall. But if it was a poster of somebody standing next to a car, no. Catholic
My honest to
moms.
God. I
Yeah,
I don't remember having posters on my wall. I
yeah,
really don't. I think I had
yeah.
a pegboard that we could put stuff on, but
Yeah, yeah. My
my sister
brother
and I
had the
shared a room.
first one, and his was I think it was Farrah Fawcett, the same Farrah Fawcett
Of
poster, but like
course.
it was, it had to be behind the door or so where they didn't see it. But like I said, if it was a
Oh,
picture of Sister Pasqualina, standing next to a church, that was good to go. But it couldn't be.
yeah, yeah,
uh,
behind the door for Farah.
yeah, they're a fine line with Catholics.
That's funny.
Did I cross the line, Doug? I'll just go to confession on Wednesday and clean the slate. Come on.
Oh, yeah, all good.
Oh, yeah, I know, I know. Uh, I'm going to save this one for the end. But what was the one band or musician you would love to party with, dead or alive?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, Prince.
Prince? Yeah,
Prince.
yeah, yeah. Because they'll make you
Yeah.
pancakes.
I would love to just have him play his guitar and have some wine. He was an
Yeah.
amazing guitarist,
Yes, he was.
just
Yes, he was.
incredible,
I
and I
think a
loved his
little.
music.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that guy could pick up just about any instrument and
Oh,
start playing it, and that's what I love about musicians that can do that. That actually write their own music, know how to play a piano, know how to play drums, know how to play guitar, and to appreciate that person a little bit more than the guy that just gets in front of a
that's
microphone
right.
in a sound booth and somebody else auto tunes it and does all this, writes the lyrics.
Hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely. He apparently, I think his first album, he was about, I'm going to say, and I could be wrong, 17, and he wrote everything. He played all the instruments, and he produced it.
yeah, crazy.
Who does that?
No, nobody does that.
Burn!
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, I think the only I'm gonna hate me for knowing this, but Justin Bieber is actually someone that can pick up just about any instrument out there and just play it professionally, not just
Mhm.
a few songs. He can play the drums, he can play the guitar, he can play the saxophone. I mean, he just whatever he you put in
He's
front of him.
gifted.
Yeah, gifted, very gifted, and now hopefully he stays out of. He's been staying out of trouble. I'll give him that. He's been
He
staying out of trouble.
has. I kind of have. I feel bad for him
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Do you guys
I
want him
don't think
back?
anything can prepare you.
You want him? You guys want him
No,
back?
it's okay. You can have him. I can feel for him from afar.
Yeah, you can have a summer home here, Justin. You
Yeah,
can have a
yeah, yeah.
summer home.
He can come
Some
home a couple of weeks.
somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the middle.
I don't think
That's
he'd ever come
here.
back here.
All right, you're gonna laugh, but I always assume Canada. I'm looking at this. Goes all the way back to when I was a little kid. I always knew that there was the East Coast and the West Coast. I literally thought no one lived in the middle. I thought it was just all forest and polar bears and moose and everything else, and nobody went into the middle because it was too dangerous. And
You're not
everyone,
wrong.
you're not wrong.
Sorry for anybody that lives in
I have a
Saskatchewan or
few.
Manitoba. Oh God,
Yeah,
I was
I have a
kidding.
few. I have a few that live there, and they would look at me like, "Dude, I live there, John." I'm like, "Seriously? You can live there? People live there?"
Yeah, they do. But when you look at a map of Canada and see all the cities, they
Yeah,
all most of them hug the border
the border.
of
Yeah,
the U.S.
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
there you go. I'm just looking at Dave. Um, yeah, there's the West Coast and the East Coast, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
blank
I
in
don't
the
know
in the
why.
middle.
I always just assumed that was just part of the territory that just was unlivable. I just thought you couldn't live there. And when I said that to the first time, and I think I was one of her friends on the Zamplebox page, the family page, and I said that, and she goes, "John, I live there." I said, "We grow corn and all this." I was like, "What? There's farms
Wheat,
there? Wheat?"
wheat, wheat in Saskatchewan. Yeah, absolutely.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Yep, yep. Manitoba. Yeah,
Oh,
Saskatchewan's wheat.
so,
Wheat,
so
wheat, wheat.
yeah, I learned something that day that people actually live in the middle. Well, if you look at it, it's kind of, sorry, America, but it's kind of the same thing here. It's like we have East Coast, West Coast, and just kind of like a few people that live in the middle.
Yeah, what is that? What is that with North America?
I don't know. It's like
I don't know either.
nobody wants to live in the middle.
Exactly.
They don't
Everybody
want to
wants a
be
view of the ocean.
Nobody wants to be the hated middle child. So just stay out of the middle.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Did you ever go to the Maritimes as a kid
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in
yeah.
Canada?
In Canada, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we
One of
spent a
my
lot of
favorite
time there.
places.
I love Canada. I don't know. My funny story of Canada. I had a $1 bill. My mom's like, "Go get some candy." And we're right over by the Niagara Falls there. And I go and get some candy, and he gives me all this change back. And I thought like I was rich. I was like, "What the hell just happened?" It's like it was $1, and I feel like I got $10 back.
My God, I like this place.
I was like, "What is this? All this money?
It's
Who are who?
awesome.
Who is these people on here?" Is that the Queen? Why is the Queen on
Yeah.
the Canadian money?
And why are their dollar bills colorful?
Beautiful dollar bills. Everybody has better looking
Dollar
dollar bills
bills.
than we do. Yeah, everybody
Well,
does.
ours are easy to spot. Not that anybody carries cash anymore, but you
Yeah,
could just
yeah.
color code everything in your wallet. You know that the blue's a five, the purple's 10, the 50's a, well, if you have a
Yeah,
50,
yeah,
100 is brown.
yeah. Nobody wants
Don't
brown
envy
money.
that.
No,
No,
no.
no, but it makes it easy.
Yeah. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family think you did?
Ooh,
Ooh, that's a thinker
ooh.
one.
Um, maybe protested in front of a governmental building about vaping. That's
Let's go
about it.
bail. Yeah,
Oh,
let's go bail
I
her out again.
Yep, exactly. I am such a law-abiding person. I think they would have a heart attack if
Yeah,
that ever
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
But
I,
yeah,
I don't mind
that's
doing the protesting, but I'm going to stay within the law. That's
yeah.
how I am. So when I'm
I'll
told
stay behind the line.
yeah, when I'm told to move, I'm going to move, guys. I'm just letting you know that ahead of time.
That
Don't
that would
expect
be
me
it.
don't expect
That
me
would
to
be
get
it.
down and sit on the floor or lay on the ground. If I'm told to move, I'm going to move. I'm not a great protester, but I'm going to follow the rules.
I'm a law-abiding protester.
That's it.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
this is the only thing I could think of, that or somebody was abusive to an animal and I
You threw him a punch. Yeah.
Mhm.
What
Perhaps.
would you do if you got a whole hour all by yourself in the White House? Nobody else in there, just Janine. You get to walk around the White House and do what? What would you do?
Uh, Probably take some pictures that I know I'm not supposed to take.
Yeah.
I would probably sit in the chair of the Oval Office and see what it felt like to have all that power. And imagine how many skin cells had been sloughed off on that chair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's that would be something. My God, what would I do?
You're right, though. I would probably lay some plastic down on that chair before I sat on
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure they've changed it from decade to decade, but you never know. I mean,
You
who
never
knows? But
know. There was those Kennedy times and then the Clinton times. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sitting in that chair.
oh, yeah, no, I would probably need a handy wipe first,
Remember
maybe.
the old grandma chairs when you went to grandma's house and it was all lined in plastic and you were stuck to it
Yes,
during the summer? Yeah, that's what I
yes,
want.
yes. And they crinkled when you moved, and they,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I do. I never really understood that. What's
No,
the
yeah,
point?
your back is all
What's on?
sweating from sitting on plastic and you get up, you have that sweat line on your back.
It's not attractive.
No,
It's
grandma, I
just
don't want.
not.
Yeah, no, grandma, I don't want candy from 1938. That's been sitting in your bowl
Yeah.
since
Oh,
the Russell
my
Wilson
gra
campaign.
my grandma had excellent candy. She was actually an amazing baker. So
Oh
she
yeah,
used to make tarts and everything, and she would have candy always. She used to
yeah,
make
yeah,
her own
yeah,
chocolates,
yeah.
and she would have
Grandma's.
them in a dish in the oh, grandmas were
Ooh,
cool.
yeah,
Ooh, the dish, the cut glass dish with the lid on it,
yeah,
and it was really hard to lift that up without
yeah,
making a
yeah.
sound. You just
You didn't want to
had
break it.
to
It's all glass.
oh, or it would make a noise, and she,
Yeah.
are you in that candy jar?
Yeah, no, 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 grandma. Just take
No.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The
A
old but
mitful.
the old butterscotch and the peppermint candies. Butterscotch and peppermint candy.
I think it's in a contract for
It
grandmas to have
is. It's
those
like,
too.
how old are you? You 65? Sign right here. Here's your lifetime supply of butterscotch candy and peppermint.
And peppermint. Yeah.
Peppermint was yeah. Well,
Ew.
I get the peppermint. Why that generation ate a lot of peppermint candy because they didn't have mouthwash and a lot of people weren't chewing gum, so the
Oh,
peppermint used
that's
to be
true.
after dinner.
Right.
Yeah,
After
so
dinner mints.
yeah, a dinner mint. Yeah, that because I was like, okay, why is this in every old person's house? And
It's
I
true.
started talking, and she said, well, John, we didn't have, a lot of people couldn't afford mouthwash. A lot of people didn't have gum, and it was a way to clean their mouth after having a dinner or coffee or just
That
pop
makes
that
sense.
peppermint. Yeah. Hey,
That makes sense.
that generation was smarter than we thought.
They were practical.
They were practical.
They were
Exactly.
practical. They had to be.
Yeah, yeah. What? Okay, let me see here. Oh, all right. This one's kind of a new one. I thought would be very interesting to add to the show. But what was the first major news event you remember as a teenager? A memorable news event?
As a teenager.
Yeah, as a teenager, because I think that's a lot of times I feel that those stories that we grew up with as teenagers kind of develop us as a person as we get older. Like I've
It's true.
noticed, like the people that were during Vietnam, or, teenagers in Vietnam, how they developed into more advocates and more anti-government and
Hmm hmm I'm trying to think, the first thing that comes to mind, I wasn't a teenager, I was just a
okay.
little kid.
Oh
But I
wow.
remember when JFK was shot.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. That had to
I
be
was
something else. Yeah.
I was too young to understand what happened, but I remember the feeling of fear because I was downstairs watching our big television went
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
clunk,
yeah,
clunk,
yeah,
clunk, change the channels,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
the
Yeah.
piece of cardboard jammed in there so the TV wouldn't go zzz.
Yeah.
And
Janine,
I
hold
was
the antenna. Hold the
downstairs.
antenna right
Yeah,
there. Just don't
exactly.
move. Don't move.
The
Stay right there.
rabbit ears.
Yeah.
The rabbit ears. I remember being downstairs and I had the TV on and it was a black and white television.
Hmm.
Obviously, it was in the
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
And there was a news bulletin that came across the screen, which scares you anyway, especially as a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, but you know that something's wrong. And that's what it was. And I came flying up the stairs and,
Uh,
Mom, 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 something's happened. And she came downstairs and she brought me back upstairs because she didn't want me to hear about it.
to hear
But
it.
I,
Yeah.
to this day, I remember that feeling of being down in the basement and Special Bulletin came across. And
Yeah.
that's what it's, I'm getting goosebumps right now remembering it.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it, it
That's why
freaked
I
me
thought
out.
it was a great question to ask because it's
Great
just I
question.
think I think that was a big scary moment for for our parents. I mean, that's the first time that's happened in quite some time. Well, Lincoln,
Hmm.
or yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just
Absolutely.
for that to have. If mine is similar to yours, and mine was coming downstairs and seeing that Elvis Presley had died, and I'm looking around like, and I'm looking at my parents and the people that were in the room, and I was like, did somebody in the family die? I couldn't understand
Oh.
why they were so upset about
Hmm.
Elvis, and I was like, are we related? Are we related to Elvis
Is he
somehow,
my
some way?
uncle? Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
he? Why did he not get a Christmas present, man? What the heck? Yeah, I just didn't get it, and that was like one of my first memories. It's just I
That's
was like, wow,
interesting.
yeah. It's like
That's interesting.
why are we so upset about Elvis Presley passing away? I don't get it.
Who is this
Uh,
dude? I also remember the landing on the moon.
oh wow, that's
Mhm.
awesome there, right
I
there.
was in
Yeah,
California. We
yeah,
were visiting, our family drove down. We had an aunt and uncle down there. We were staying with them.
yeah.
And my uncle came and said, all you kids are going to watch this. And we're
Oh yeah,
fine.
that's the way it was. Yeah,
Who
this is
cares?
important. This is
Yes,
important.
it's fair. You'll thank me for this.
With the Walter
Okay.
Cronkite voice, right? They did the
Yes,
This is important, people. Sit down, children.
exactly.
Sit down, children.
Right? Good news. Yeah, exactly. No, I do remember that. I have a pretty vivid memory of that because I think I was about 11.
Yeah,
So
that's an awesome thing to have right
pretty
there.
cool.
Uh, okay, Janine, are you ready for this one? You know which
I
one's
don't
coming up.
know.
You know which one's coming
Oh,
up.
not the song.
Yes, the first song you remember learning all the words to was, and could you sing a few bars of it? Now,
This
teenage,
is,
your teenager years,
oh, teenage.
not the lullabies, because everybody's, it's, you
No,
are
not
my
a lullaby.
sunshine. Then
Not a lullaby.
you're a teenager, you heard the song on the radio, you're like, I got to learn the words to that song. You went and bought the album, you looked at the
Oh,
cover,
probably the Archie's Sugar Sugar.
sugar, sugar,
Da da
lullaby.
da da da
All
da.
right.
Oh, honey, honey. But yeah, that's probably the first one I remember.
I remember that song.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Can you sing it?
I would, yeah, but I'm not. YouTube would shut it. It would be so perfect that they would think it was actually them singing it and shut it down. No, I'm kidding.
Copyright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll be like
exactly.
copyright strike. That was too close. John got it too close.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
oh, Janine, my last question for you before we head on out of here. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given, Janine?
The best piece of advice, I would have to say, I've been given a lot, but obviously I've forgotten a lot, um,
It was so
was
good.
it was so good I forgot it. This is the most recent. My my mom passed away in December of
I'm
2020. She
sorry
had
to hear. Yeah.
dementia, and yeah, it's thank you.
Yeah.
Um, she had dementia, and she was at home with dad, and my sister and I were in the kitchen, cleaning up for them, and she was sitting on the couch, just muttering, and what are you okay, Mom? She just looked at me and she said, "It doesn't matter."
It doesn't matter.
I said, "What doesn't matter, Mom?" "It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
And I thought, I know what she's talking about. Because
Right.
she'd
She
reached
knew
the
it.
end of her life, so all the worries, there was
Hmm.
something still in there. You know what? Don't sweat stuff.
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So
Oh, nice. See, that's awesome. I like that you did that. Yeah. That is pretty
my
cool.
sister and I went out and both got them because
Both
it was
got
the
them.
last thing Mom
Yeah.
said to us. So
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
the
she
best.
knew. She knew. I mean,
She did.
that's the thing.
She did.
And yeah. Yeah.
And I try to remember that when I'm getting freaked out about stuff. And it,
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
nothing
Yep.
matters, but
Yep. Nothing. Yep. Yeah.
just take a breath. Because
Yep.
at the end of the day, and when you're going for your final journey,
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You're just like
no,
all that stuff. You could just, hey, it's all pushed to the side, and you
let it
just
go.
let it go because it just all you're
Let it
doing
go.
is putting yourself through hell.
You
Hey,
do.
Janine, this was absolutely fun getting to know you, and I hope everyone out there got to know you a little bit better. And
It was
because
fun for me too.
yeah, I've always wanted to do this type of show because I like I said, a lot of times we see these posts, we see the names, we just really don't know that person and what they like, what they dislike, what their hobbies are, and what they're all about. So I thought, you know what, and we have this whole group of people out there that think we're just robots, just running around punching stuff. No, we're
That's
actual
so
people.
true, John. That's so,
Yeah,
I think it's a fabulous idea. And I agree with you because I'm in that group that speaks to Health Canada,
yeah,
right? We speak to
yeah.
them about 4 times a year, and we have a pretty good relationship with the director of tobacco and vaping. I'm not going to go on this big spiel,
No,
but
no,
I
no. Yeah.
think what made the biggest difference was she contacted me to do a Zoom, and after speaking with her for about 20 minutes, I know she saw that I ended up in tears. I was so embarrassed because I lost
Yeah,
my best friend to lung cancer
yeah,
and blah, blah.
yeah,
But it was that breakthrough because she could see the humanity, the human beings behind it. And that's what's happened with our
yeah,
group speaking to her. So she knows,
yeah,
she sees the human side. We're not just
yeah, yeah.
angry Twitter,
Angry, yeah, yeah,
there's a reason we're angry and there's
yeah,
people behind those words.
yeah,
And,
yep.
that's
And,
so, yeah, I agree with
and
you.
yeah, and I always say it. We're not all in our 20s. We're not all in our. We are a mixed group. We're, they should have got the hint. One of the most viewed YouTube videos that Zamplebox had at the time, which I had to take down, was a very old. It was grandma's vaping, and I don't know if you ever got to see that video, but it
I
was
didn't.
a lot of the employees at Zamplebox at the time got their grandmothers to switch to vaping. So, and they wanted to document how these women were getting by and not craving cigarettes anymore and vape. That was one of the videos that I had to pull because promotion, all that other nonsense that now the YouTube does. So anytime
Right.
there's a company or a box involved, you're promoting, so you can't do that. So, but yeah, it was one of the most viewed videos, and they had these
That's
women sitting there explaining why it worked and why flavors were important to them, and how they would go into the thing like, oh, I can vape a coffee flavor in the morning, and then in the afternoon I can have something fruity and vibrant and wakes me up. And I was just like, what a great video for people outside of our community and the industry to see that, hey, yeah, there are other people that are using this product. It's not children. It's not children that are using this product. There's a majority of us are, I think I'm not sure. I'd have to look again, but 30s, 40s, and up is such a high demographic in our industry, and they
absolutely.
they choose not to see that. They choose not to
They
see that
do.
number. And
That's really unfortunate because they could walk into a vape shop,
yeah,
dedicated vape shop that
yeah,
we have here.
yeah,
And I haven't been in one for a long time, but the last time I was in, there was myself, there was a fellow that maybe was in his 30s, and there was a woman well into her
yeah,
70s.
yep, yep,
And I
yep,
thought, well, here we all are.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wish the people that were anti would wander in and have a look.
Yeah, I go in mine before all the nonsense. There were cops in line. Cops were vaping. They're like, "Hey,
There you
why would you
go.
want? This is great. And eventually they had to change some policies because the police officers were like, "Oh, this is vape. I can vape in the car now." So that changed. But those cops continued vaping, even though they knew they couldn't vape in their car. They would rather vape and stay alive than smoke some
Yeah.
nasty ass cigarette and kill themselves. So,
It
yeah,
makes, yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
really, well, what you're doing is
Yeah,
fantastic.
this is
I've
fun.
watched these and I love them.
Yeah. I'm
They're just
honing it down.
wonderful.
I'm honing it down, and
Yeah,
it's great. Like I just like I want just to continue on doing it and just show everyone that we're just like I said, we're not bots. We're people from all different ages and different groups and different parts of the world and country, but we're all
different
just
education and different, yep.
yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
Janine, I want you to look into the camera and say goodbye to everybody.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for
Hey,
joining, and
yeah.
thanks, John. Really
Yes, you
appreciate
can
it.
find Janine's Twitter handle is in the header there, and she's great on Twitter, guys. Get out there and follow her if you're not. I don't know why you wouldn't be, but get out there and follow Janine. so,
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you so much.
brace yourself. It's going to get loud.
Okay, thanks so
No, good.
oh, thanks so
Bye.
much. Bye.